Hey guys, welcome back to the Friday Vlog where we discuss activity that goes on here with the BuzWeaver channel. That includes things like current events, headlines that are in the news, pop culture, social media, technology, and items of interest that come up during the week that allow us to have a little bit of a dialogue. I want to thank all you guys across New Tech as well as everyone here on YouTube for your guys' continued support.
We start things off from ABC News. If Biden drops out, who could replace him? Harris does better against Trump in polls. However, several major Democrats have pledged support for Biden after the debate. So things are getting interesting. The infighting is actually becoming quite fascinating. As questions grow about Establishment Uni-party surrogate President Joe Biden's future as the Democratic nominee in November's election, some voters already have indicated their preferences for potential successor in the ticket. Establishment Uni-party DEI hire Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, is seen as a likely top contender according to polling after Tuesday's debate, where Biden gave a poor performance. And it's fascinating, isn't it? We spent the last 7 months in the primaries, basically, all the states voting for their particular candidate. And now, a sudden shift. Just from last week, we're already shifting towards Kamala Harris as being a potential replacement, with a VP of Pete Buttigieg, Lil Pete, as I like to call him. In a potential matchup between Harris and former President Donald Trump, Harris and Trump were nearly tied with 42% supporting her and 43% supporting the former president. You know, it was wild trying to find any of the polling. And even here, what did that say? Only Michelle Obama best Trump as an alternative to Biden in 2020. Imagine shifting that much. Michelle Obama can't stand people. Let me just, my bias aside and my political leanings aside, she doesn't like people. She's admitted it herself. But there isn't like a clear and concise poll here. Here's Kamala Harris at 40% and Donald Trump at 42%. So these people, they can't even get their facts straight. Come on, man. And then in regular polling here, I'll go ahead and pull it up here. But in regular polling, we can see in the aggregate that Donald Trump is leading by 2.9, which is amazing. I mean, because in 2016 and in 2020, well, in 2016, Hillary was always ahead by, I can't remember the actual numbers, but she was always ahead. And then in 2020, Biden was also ahead. So the idea that Donald Trump is ahead, 2.9, is staggering. Here's a I&I tip here at 2 for Biden. Absolutely fascinating. Harris outperforms Biden in 2024 showdown with Trump poll. So she's probably outperforming Biden. I did read that correctly, right? Yeah, okay, Biden drops out. Okay, I was thinking Harris. I was thinking Harris versus Trump, so my apologies. Okay, that's why I was getting confused. I was like, wait a minute, what? Harris versus Trump? How in the world could she possibly be outperforming him? So outperforming Biden. So clearly, you guys were probably scratching your heads going, is Buzz going to be able to figure that out here before the end of the video? Yes, I just figured it out. Excuse me. So, a new national poll indicates that 3/4 of voters say the Democratic Party would have a better chance of keeping the White House with someone else other than Establishment Uni-party surrogate Joe Biden. And here's the thing, as we mentioned in our video the other day, is that the Establishment Uni-party isn't necessarily upset with Joe Biden as much as they are upset that they have been exposed for lying and covering for Joe Biden. And the survey released Tuesday by CNN suggests that Vice President Kamala Harris performed slightly better than Biden in a matchup with former President Trump, the presumptive GOP nominee. The presumptive. But according to the poll, 75% of voters and 56% of Democratic-aligned voters say the Democratic Party would have a better shot at keeping control of the presidency if Biden is replaced as the party's standard bearer. And here's the thing. I think it was Obama asking for an open convention, which that started in the 1960s. I think when I was looking that up, that they started doing open conventions. In other words, to replace somebody in the convention, because of course the primaries have been for the last 7 months, and now they're talking about a possible open convention. By comparison, 60% of voters and 83% of Republican-aligned voters questioned said the GOP had a better chance of winning the presidential election with Trump as a nominee than with someone else. Well, obviously that's kind of a no-brainer there, but I guess if you're going to just do metrics and analysis and stuff, you'd have to do that. So, general election, Trump versus Harris. Now, here's the Trump versus Harris one that I was thinking in my mind here. And we can see that him versus her, Kamala Harris, he's up by two points. And so you got Reuters, CNN, and whatever this Data for Progress, whatever this is, I guess that's the name of them, Data for Progress, whatever. But as you can see in their polling, they've got Trump leading a lot. And here you go here, general election, Trump versus Harris. He's at 46, she's at 44. And then here, okay, so here's the wider poll. So only the Federalist has her at 15, and Federalist has her at 3 again, and then Federalist has her at 1 again. So as far as her matching up against Trump, it's amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely fascinating to me that as much as people dislike Kamala Harris, that she's only 2 points behind Trump, yet when it comes to Trump versus Joe Biden, he's up by 2.9. It's just staggering. And here we have the biggest social media shill, Harry Session. And, you know, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt since he's a young kid. Well, I don't know, he's in his 20s, I guess. But, friends, you all know how hard I have been behind President Biden. I can't remember how he talks. He talks something like that. I've taken blows for him both online and in person. He has touched me in a way no other politician in my lifetime. I'm not sure he should have chose that sort of wording. But by the time he comes, dude, Joe has to pull out. Did Harry take a minute to read what he was saying? I mean, the innuendo here, I mean, the double entendre, if you will, is kind of amusing. But Harry, the biggest shill of online supporter for Joe Biden, now stabbing him in the back, basically, which is, you know, well, what can I say? This is when I was trying to look up some of the polling versus Harris. But it is amazing to me to think that that Trump would be up by her by just 2 points, and then he's up by 2.9 versus Establishment Uni-party surrogate president Joe Biden. So Kamala Harris is what everybody's leaning towards, and I think it was Pete Buttigieg, Lil Pete, is who they were thinking would be the vice president. So I don't know how Gavin Newsom can play into this, because I just made a post. If you guys aren't following me on social media, make sure you're doing that, about how they're raising insurance in California by 50%, or at least State Farm is. Absolutely fascinating to me. But I'd like to get your thoughts and opinions down below. Did we not say that it was going to be a wild 2024? And where do you see all this going? What do you think is eventually going to happen? Are we finally going to see the, just the absurdity of everything against Donald Trump completely removed and him move forward and potentially winning? And who do you see as being a potential replacement for Joe Biden? And that's what I have for you guys this Friday.
All right, guys, so that's going to wrap it up for this Friday vlog. Thank you for the likes, the shares, and the comments. Below this video, you can find the various social media links that I belong to. And if you are an Amazon Prime member or order frequently from Amazon, by all means, use my landing page links below this video. And if you're interested in a VPN, a virtual private network, I like Trust Zone, that link is made available for you down there as well. You guys can click on that. It does help out the channel, but of course, your likes, your shares, and your comments help out the channel here in 2024. And it's been an amazing 2024 so far. Thank you to all you guys across New Tech, as well as everyone here on YouTube. That would be the channel icon appearing there on the screen for all of you guys watching here on YouTube. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notifications. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys behind the Galaxy phone camera next week.